Hi, I'm Drex, and this is Introduction to Poi Spinning from Spinballs. In this video, we're going to cover our first behind the back trick, the behind the back weave. Most of the time, we perform weaves with our hands in front of our bodies, but we can also perform them with our hands behind our back. Anytime a trick is referred to as a behind the back trick, it refers to the placement of the hands and the arms behind the back rather than the poi themselves. Being able to control your poi with your hands behind your back will set you up for performing a whole host of behind the back moves, such as behind the back waist traps, meltdowns, and many more. Also, it's a fun exercise to have to build a weave backwards. We're going to start by learning some basic behind the back plane control. To do this, we're going to bring back an exercise from an earlier video. First, draw a line on the ground and then rotate your poi forward directly above it. Now, turn your body away from your dominant hand bit by bit. The goal is to get your arm wrapped completely around behind your back with the poi turning reverse in wheel plane. Learn to do this with both hands. There's a tricky moment when your hand approaches the small of your back. You'll switch from having your palm facing down to having your palm facing up. Practice this transition until it feels natural to go back and forth between the two positions. There will be moments when you'll lose control of the poi. When this happens, return to the last place where you had control and perform 10 beats in this position before moving on to the next position. Next, we're going to learn to perform basic tic-tacs with our hands behind our back. Do this by starting with the poi turning backwards in wheel plane and move your hand into the small of your back, swinging the poi to either side of your body. Now that we have some basic control of our planes when our hands are behind our backs, it's time to start building a behind the back weave. Remember, we can think of the weave as consisting of 3 beats: over, under, and back. Practice performing this series of movements with each hand, reaching around the other hand as you go. Next, you'll want to learn to perform 2-beat weaves behind the back. You'll want to start with the poi turning split time same direction reverse in wheel plane. Now try crossing your right hand behind your back and letting your left hand cross over it. You'll want to turn your entire upper body slightly to the left as you do so. It'll help you to avoid hitting yourself. You'll also want to try crossing your left hand behind your back, letting your right hand cross over it. Most people find that one of these 2 beats is more comfortable than the other, usually the one in which the dominant hand is on bottom. When you can perform both right hand under as well as left hand under 2 beats, try switching back and forth between the two, thinking right hand under, left hand under, right hand under, left hand under. If you can do this without uncrossing your arms, congratulations, you're performing a behind the back weave. Keep in mind, it will take some time to make plane control with your hands behind your back automatic. Adopt a practice routine, working on each of these exercises for 10 minutes a day. It may take a few weeks for all the pieces to come together, but you will eventually get this trick. Here are a couple things that can go wrong and how to fix them. First, you might find that your poi are hitting the backs of your legs frequently. I certainly did when I was first learning this trick. It means that your planes are going slightly horizontal as you perform this move. The solution is to make sure that as your hands are behind your back, you're pointing your thumb backwards away from you rather than down towards the ground. If you think of the plane of the poi as being like a wheel, then the direction that your thumb points in is like an axle that the wheel turns around. Whichever way you point your thumb determines the orientation of the plane. Next, you may find that you're hitting your chest and/or shoulder as you attempt to perform this weave. This is caused by not turning your upper body far enough to the side that the poi are on. It's possible to do this move getting your hands far enough over to not have to turn your upper body, but it's really difficult and it can hurt your shoulders. Be easy on yourself and turn your body back and forth. Behind the back weaves can be challenging, but look so cool when you get them down cleanly. Lots of artists show their virtuosity by performing tasks behind their back or in other spots where they have limited mobility and can't see what they're doing. Think Jimi Hendrix or David Blaine. Thanks so much for watching. Now show us what you can do. Share your photos and videos of your progress with Spinballs.